Okay, so dear Dharma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body and keep your back straight. Make head straight in one line and your right palm. So gently close your eyes and bring attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind, and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully Enlightened One. So dear Dhamma practitioners, before we start our practice session, as usual, we'll take few minutes to understand how this meditation practice will help for you to develop your conventional life, your ordinary life, and at the same time, out of that development, how your spiritual success you can gain. So this both conventional life and your spiritual life not separated. It's both interconnected. So then your day-to-day activities, your bodily, verbally, mentally actions should bring the good result to yourself, which we call profitable result. And at the same time, it should take you to more higher level and reach to liberation. Through the liberation, you come to your Nibbana. So this is a step-by-step process. So in the very first thing that we have to remember, it is important for all of us to recognize where we are in this journey. So in this very moment, in this body and mind, who we are. Because from this point, then we have to understand why we need the liberation, why we need the transformation, why we need the Nibbana. So when it comes to this human life, especially this, that the life we experience, not what the life in book or not what the life in the history or not the life we talk about in stories. The very life that we experience is a very messy subject. It's very difficult to tackle or understand or become very clear about it. We just gain more information, we just follow informations. And today we came to kind of like an information crisis. And that information crisis take us to meaning crisis. So when it comes to our life, and regarding that, whatever we know, we knew out of informations, but when it comes to the meaning, sometimes we lost the very core essence of the real life. And we caught up in ideas and it took us to different things to understand. Now, as a meaning, we take something else. So then it is your responsibility then recognizing this and understanding this and get out of this mess rather than maintaining that mess and rather than giving that mess to another person or your next generation. How you can do that? The way to do it, you start to need to look into yourself. You start to need to look into your body and mind. Because what we experience as Dharma or teaching, as philosophy, or as any kind of teachings, it's about our life. It's about our body and mind. So then, can you merge that whatever you learn with your body and mind? Can you merge, can you develop whatever you know as philosophy or the Dharma in your body and mind? So that is the only way that we can get out of this mess, this meaning crisis and the information crisis. Because when it comes to the very way of life we experience through our direct experience. So when it comes to that, how the meditation will help for us to develop that clarity. So today we are going to take a different path and see how we can come to this clarity using our body and mind, and at the same time, in the conventional life, how we can become more profitable people for us and for other people, and at the same time, how we can contribute our best to our humanity. So with that, today we are going to talk about the fear. When it comes to human life, the fear is something very important. We all experience it in certain way. So as we all know, somewhere in our life, we have experienced this. And at the same time, in day-to-day real life, in our dream world, even in our imagination, even in our future plans, this everywhere, like a shadow, this fear always exists. So according to the meditation practice, how you can overcome this fear. So this is very important for you to understand how this fear day by day becomes stronger. Because in our life, each and every part of our life, sometimes this fear can have ability to overtake. And sometimes it has many reasons with the physical pain, and it has many reasons with our preconditioned mind, and it has reasons with our future plans, and even sometimes the fear exists because of our very existence. So how we can come out of the fear? What is the solution for this? So one of the important things you have to remember, the fear arises as a result of the kind of like certain the failures that we carry within ourselves, certain kind of gap we have inside us. And so that failures always bring us unsatisfaction. So that is where this fear arises. So failure regarding what? The failures regarding our own life. That means failures regarding our own body and mind. And why the failures arise there, then because of the desire. So like that, we can go deeper into that many. So when you go deeper, what you recognize, this fear is a kind of like a result of some other things. The fear itself doesn't arise independently. Fear comes as a result. So, but now when we experience the fear, sometimes we can't go into the depth of that all and find the solution for that. Because in the moment of the fear experience, everything paralyzes, everything shut down. You have no ability to go deeper. So then we have to find a method to work with the surface level of the fear. So when the fear arises, one of the very thing happen, it's everything go blank, kind of like a dark. And you don't know what to do. And you don't know how to do. And because of that, what happens, you start to lead to do many wrong actions. So in the very first level, then when you practice the meditation, how you can bring that the same method to tackle the fear. So you have, rather than resisting the fear, because this is what most of time people do. Fear, anger, hatred, jealousy, those are people resist, try to resist, especially the fear. And the fear, once you go through the fear, then you imagine about the fear. You are developing, you kind of like remodeling the fear inside you, and then you plan to escape from the fear. Because of that, what happened the very next day, fear becomes so stronger. And then the deeper giant monster you create by yourself. So then how you can minimize the strength of this monster that inside you? Because you are the one who developed that. You are the one who feed for that. So remember, the very key to work with the fear, when it arises, and rather than resisting it, you have to let it be. And you just observe it knowingly. It's come from inside you. It's a condition of your thoughts, not something outside. Not it's a physically can appear something from it's a condition of your mind. Just let it be. It's very hard, because when the fear comes, in the middle of the fear, we can't. We always try to do something. That's how this build the system build. Fight or flight. So try to fight. If it is otherwise, try to escape from it. So this physical nerve system inbuilt to go into these two things. That's the human nature and that's the animal nature. But the thing is, now we bring a different method to have the existence, to go with the ordinary life. Fight or flight method is okay. Resist or fight with it. Escape from it It's okay. But now we find a different method. And that is the method come out of the very vipassana practice. So it is not in the psychological books, and it is not in the most of these philosophical books. So what's the method? You allow it to happen, but you observe. But most of time we have the very nature, we don't allow things to happen the way it happened. We always try to moderate things. We always try to make something happen. How far? Who is decide what should happen? Because the fear is itself coming from you. It is a very condition of your body and mind. So then you are the one who condition. It should be like this. So that's mean what? That's mean you are the one who condition your own nature. Because it's already in you. Whatever that you take the decisions, oh, it should be like this, or it should not be like that, that also come out of the result of fear. But when you observe it, when you allow that fear to flow itself, what will happen? You will see it will go away. Because it doesn't have itself power to be there permanently. Why? Because it is a result of thoughts. So observing and practicing meditation will take you to deeply understand that. How you can do that then? So we take our body and mind to go inside us. So when it comes to the body and mind, so basically we observe the sensation of our body. When it comes to that, we have this physical layer of our body. So any physical layer, structure of your body, if you observe that, you see there is no any concrete, permanent, unchangeable posture that you can maintain. So that's the very nature of this physical. And if you take a little more mindful and go a little bit deeper, then you recognize this physical itself brings the sensation. If you don't have the physical body, where you find the sensation? So what does this mean? Even though you feel this kind of like a solid, it has a structure. If you observe this little bit, this full of sensation, this everything is sensation. So if you take a little more deeper, if you go a little bit more deeper, what will happen? You start to recognize beyond this sensation, there is a vibration. This physical body. And then if you go a little bit more deeper beyond that vibration, then you recognize it's a flow of energy. Once you come to that level, what happens? You get out of this skin, because that energy doesn't have a structure itself. It's go beyond this body. It's not limited to this physical form. It's connected to this environment. So then how far? How far are you connected in this environment? How big the universe, that much big who you are. If you can catch it, you know, that much you are bigger, not this physical body. So when you observe that, you can see it. So then when the fear arises within the very limited body, that limited body is a mental structure. And when the fear arises there, if you observe it, what will happen? You go, when the fear arises, it comes with the names and forms. Because that is the language you understand. That is the language you talk to you. That is the language you communicate with the names and forms. So even though fear arises as an energy, as a sensation, according to your mental capacity, it transforms to names and forms. But whatever that it transforms to names and form, if you observe it a little, if you allow it to be there like that, what will happen? You will see it go away. So whatever the fear arises, it has no power to be there as it is. It all change. And not only fear, that whatever you experience in your life, in the deeper level, you will see this all energy transform to name and form. And once you recognize that, you are not going to wrestling, or you are not going to fighting, you are not going to do judo with your own names and forms, because it is very you. And that is one way you little by little reduce the power of the monster that you build up inside you. And then when that monster disappears, you gain the clarity. You gain the clarity to be in the moment without jumping here and there, going here and there. So that is itself, you develop undisturbed mind. And that is where you can get out of this messy lifestyle, having undisturbed mind. So at the same time, what this fear does, so the fear is a kind of like it's all about life situations, and it can take us to many different situations, and we kind of like experience many things, maybe real, unreal, and you can't argue about it. You can't bring any physical or outside material things and get help for your fear. And another thing is this fear, by the time, if you don't observe it and if you don't recognize it as a result of your own thoughts, what will happen? So the fear has a different way to behave inside us. So this fear can take us to different, develop a different character. How? So when it comes to religions and the human history, people have the behavior, the self-mortification. So this self-mortification is the most, it's a kind of like a risky part that we develop because of the fear. So when it comes to self-mortification, so we go through we give a very hard time to us. And we can put us to many painful situations. and we can wear kind of like a very uncomfortable garments and even the ornaments or the jewelries, and we ourselves put into kind of like a very ugly and hard situations. So in your life, sometimes if you look very carefully, if knowingly or unknowingly, you put your life into kind of like a hard, very difficult situation. So that is the very dangerous thing with this self-mortification, the fear, because it takes us to this kind of situation. So if you're afraid for life, if you don't know what is life, sometimes you're afraid for life, sometimes you're afraid for the samsara, sometimes you're afraid for death, sometimes you're afraid for birth. So like that, this fear can come in many ways, but it's all about your body and mind. It can come in many ways. So once it comes like that, what happens? And you start to destroy the very moment of awareness. You can't anymore experience the reality. And then you start to build up something in you, and you start to get into a kind of like a different behavior to escape from that mental imagination. That is where the self-mortification arises. Not you are tuning to reality. You start to escape from the reality. So during Buddha's time, there were two ascetics used to practice kind of like a different methods. So one ascetic used to practice like a dog. Look, this is 2,600 years old story. And there was an ascetic, and he was practiced like a dog. He lived like a dog, walk like a dog, eat like a dog, sleep like a dog. He completely want to transform, escape from this life, human life. And he thought it's kind of like behaving like that will bring some kind of liberation to him. And recently, there was the very wealthy young guy in Japan. And his dream was to become a dog. And he spent $100,000, huge the money, a lot of money, and he built up the kind of like a garment exactly like the kind of like a dog that he want to be. It's now he's wearing it and he living like a dog. So if you go to YouTube, maybe online, you may find that it's real. That was his dream. Look at 2,600 years ago. That during Buddha's time, there was a yogi and practiced like a dog. So when I saw that news, and I remembered that, and this guy now, human being with 2023, in the way talk about this middle of this, all the machines, technology, artificial intelligence, chat GPT, how this young, wealthy, Japanese guy, it's not even, far away in the middle of kind of like a poor country somewhere. Oh, this young, wealthy, the guy with this, all this information technology, in this information era, we see the world and we see the past, we see the future. People try to go to the the mask, and people again try to go to the moon and go around the universe and looking for aliens. But this guy spent all his money to be like a dog. How about that? Why this happened like that? And then in the Buddha's time, that is story, there was another guy with him. He used to practice like a cow, sleep like a cow, walk like a cow, eat like a cow. So believing he can bring kind of like a transformation. So then one day they heard about the Buddha. And then they both came to Buddha and told, "Oh, Venerable Sir, we both practice this two yoga. And I practiced like a dog and he practiced like a cow. And after we die, can you tell us, please, where we go? What will happen?" Buddha said, "Don't ask. Stop it there. Don't ask that." And these two guys said, please tell me. Please tell us. We want to know." Buddha again told, "Don't ask that." Then they were again, asking from Buddha, "Please tell us. We want to know about what will happen to our future." Most of people, people like to know what will happen to them. And so the third time Buddha said, "So you now act like a dog. So you act like a cow. So once when you die, you will born again like a dog, and you will again born like a cow. No any change." So simple method. So then remember, this self-mortification is a very dangerous. And of course, in the Buddha's teaching, kind of like when it comes to the deeper emotional ignorance, desires, lust, that kind of things. And sometimes you put your most effort and you hold it without bringing it out of your bodily, verbally, mentally action. But that doesn't mean you give a deeper suffering to yourself. That doesn't mean you put yourself to a very dangerous, uncomfortable situation. In the Buddha's teaching, never accept it. So then remember, because of the fear, sometimes knowingly or unknowingly, we put our own life to very dangerous, risky, uncomfortable situation, and sometimes uncomfortable rituals. But rather than putting our life to that things and take care of the fear, rather than feeding to that monster inside you, what you need to do, simply start to observe. And the very first level, be open to your own body and mind. Be open to you. Be open to your fear. And accept it. Let it be. Right away, it will go away. When you become open to you, then you recognize you are empty. That's the thing. When you open to yourself, you recognize there's nothing that you can, hold as you. So that is the beauty of introspection. You go deeper into see and what this is. Is there anything? This all we experience out of the body and mind. And the body, as you know, there's nothing permanent, and the mind itself, nothing permanent. This all change. So then moment by moment, whatever you experience, it's all possible to change. So through the meditation, basically, you observe it, recognize it, understand it, and you go deeper. And when you go deeper, you recognize what the experience on the surface level is a result of something underneath us. So That understanding will help you to not to touch the surface level of whatever the reaction and just let it be there. And once you can be like that, for the moment, for a 1 second, for a 1 millisecond, if you can just let it be as it is, and you will see nothing going to happen. But everything happens when that in that very moment, without allowing it to be there as it is, what we does, we come with some kind of bodily, verbally, mentally reaction. That is what take us to make life more messy. So if you see that, when the fear arises, don't make any action. Just let it be. And with very clear mind, observe, then you will see. Nothing will happen. And that moment of clarity uplift you, and anymore you're not going to be afraid for the fear arise from you. So with that, let's get into practice. So your right palm on your left and neck get straight in one line and be comfortable with your posture. So bring attention to your body and scan head to toes yourself and say Suapatveva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable, may my breath be more smooth, may no difficulties come to me, may all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation and exhalation. So if your mind go here and there, bring it back again and again and be with the sensation. Do nothing extra. So in the beginning, deeply and gently, breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. And allow your breathing to happen itself. Just observe it. Bring my attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also, as far as you can, through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe, and may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside. To your left side. And to your right side. Downward. And upward. All 6 directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy, without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance, or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest, wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha. Also, by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata chamyehi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya Imaya Dhamma Nudhamma Patipattiya Buddham Pujemi Dhammam Pujemi Sangham Pujemi Addaya Imaya Patipattiya Jati Jara Vyadi Maranam Ha Paribunjisami Idamme Punya Kammang Asavakkaya Vahang Hotu Sabba Dukkha Pamunchatu. Bless you.